This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 62 of the Dressage Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network. We would like to thank our sponsors, Kentucky Performance Products. They offer supplements designed to give you the most value for your dollars. Visit them at kppusa.com. This is Chris Stafford in Lexington, Kentucky, and this week we have a special episode coming to you from the Adequan FEI North America Junior and Young Rider Championships presented by Gotham North. I have a whole host of guests with me this week, and not least of all, Mary Lawrence. And Mary, welcome back to the show. We had to have you on this week at the North America Junior Young Rider Championships.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's great to be here and be in person with all of you, and this whole experience of being here at the North American Young Rider Championships is really inspiring.
Well, I know you absolutely tickled. When I saw you the other day, you were just beside yourself with excitement. We've got two other guests that are with us this week, Jill Kemenosh and Mary Catherine Nominson. Both of you, of course, previous guests here on the show, and both of you competing. So we're going to have a ball here. And we've got Glenn the Geek sitting beside me here to produce the show. We're coming to you from the U.S. Dressage Federation's building here in the Kentucky Horse Park. And as you know, if you follow the shows here on the Horse Radio Network, you'll know that I also host the Jumping Radio Show and the Eventing Radio Show. And this week it's going to be all about the young riders and the juniors that are competing here. Mary, I know this is your first time to the horse park. What are your impressions so far? Your big grin on all your faces. I know you were so excited to be here.
Yeah, well, the facilities, just the whole venue here is incredible, and pulling down the highway ramp and seeing the Kentucky Horse Park was incredible. I think the biggest thing that's really got me is the fact that all of us young riders are here together, and it's so neat seeing the different combinations and riding in these incredible arenas, and of course going into that stadium and knowing that the World Equestrian Games are going to be held here and that Edward Gall and Stefan Peters are going to be riding down that very same ramp that we were riding down. So there's just so many elements about the whole event that are just so neat.
That's pretty cool, and I know it's your first time here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I'm so happy that I was able to make it. My first and last year, but it's so great to say that I've been here now.
Yeah, it is your first and last year, and I know, Jill, is this the first time for you or the second time?
Actually, this is my second time here. I had qualified before. I've qualified for the past 3 years, but I was only able to make it the first year that I qualified, which is when I competed in juniors. The past 2 years, I qualified again in juniors and then in young riders, but was unable to attend because of lameness issues.
Oh.
So this is my second year back, and I really couldn't be happier. The experience here, you know, everyone keeps asking me if I'm nervous, if, how I'm feeling about the whole situation. And really, I keep saying that I'm not nervous. You know, it almost is stress-free for me because I'm so happy to be able to be here and be competing because that opportunity had gotten taken away from me.
Same horse?
Before. Yep,
okay.
Same horse.
Same horse, and you will have seen a bit of difference here in the horse park since you were here last year with all the improvements.
Well, I didn't come last year. We were
okay.
Yeah, we were a week out, and I had to pull my slot.
Oh,
so So this is my first time here as well, and I think the same as Mary. I'm just amazed by the whole facility and just the arenas and the footing. Everything is in perfect shape. So it's been awesome.
It really is all about the horse, isn't it? And, you know, as you said, the footing, you've got consistent footing for your warm-up areas, your schooling arenas, and then in the main arena. It doesn't come much better than this, does it, to ride on, Jill?
Absolutely not. You know, it just makes for a happy horse, and a happy horse makes for a happy competitor for sure because, you know, you can warm up at some shows and you're on rock-hard footing or uneven footing, and not only is the horse not going to his best ability, but you're kind of holding back your horse because you don't want them to get hurt in the process. So
absolutely,
it's awesome to be able to ride to your full potential and push them to where you think you can.
Well, just remind everybody you're from Region 1. Tell us where your home state is, and tell us a little bit about your horse.
I'm from Haddonfield, New Jersey, and my horse is located at Scott Hassler's, which is in Chesapeake City, Maryland. And my horse is awesome. Like I said, I've been with him for 4 years, and I did juniors with him and moved him up to young riders. And he's just a super competitor. He had only done one show when we had bought him. So he's 15, but I call him a young 15 because he hadn't competed before. So we kind of took a chance with that, him having only been to one show. But he's super and really tries his heart out, so I couldn't ask for more.
So you like it here so far?
Oh, absolutely. Although they call that walk down to the arena the chute. I had to rename it the Walk to Victory because going from the warm-up arena and sending them down the chute sounds terrifying. So we renamed it the Walk of Victory because I was not about to be sent down a chute into the arena.
That's a very good idea. Well, Mary Catherine, of course, you've been on the show not too long ago. You were one of Mary's guests.
Yes.
Now, I know you're representing Region 9,
Yes.
and you've even got some sponsors there for Region 9. That looks very professional. All of these girls, except Mary, of course, the co-host, she dresses very casually today. Actually, in cowboy boots, I have to tell you.
Yeah, I look more like a rainer than a rider.
We're going to convert Mary while she's here to eventing and raining.
Come to Texas with me. Yeah.
There you go. There's an invitation for you, Mary.
Okay,
go back to Texas with Mary Catherine. Well, tell us a little bit about your first appearance here and how it's going so far. And what I know you're riding today. We're recording this on Friday. We should explain to everybody that we held on as long as we could through the week before we got these shows out because we wanted to be part of the North America Junior Young Rider Championship. So it is now Friday as we're recording all these shows, and some of you have done one ride, some of you, and some of you are going on. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. So we're by no means is the show over yet. But so tell us a little bit about your experience so far, Mary Catherine.
It's been awesome. I was here last year for the junior competition as well, so I've kind of seen the horse park, but it's definitely had a lot more improvements this year. The footing's awesome. It's kind of similar to what I have at home with the felt in it, so that's a good thing that my horse is used to it. But it's been so great. I'm really happy with what happened. Yesterday in my team test, we kind of had a meltdown. They were bringing the water trucks in and the tractors in like 10 minutes before my ride, and I was just not getting my stuff together, and my horse was spooking, and there was another girl's horse rearing, had to get off in the middle of the arena. So I was really happy with my results in the arena because from my warm-up, I thought the whole show was just going to be a disaster. So he pulled off an okay ride, and I was really happy with how he behaved, and I'm hoping just to really do well this afternoon.
And tell us the region. You're from Region 9?
I'm from Region 9, from Houston, Texas. I board my horse at Paragon Stables. It's in the Woodlands. It's about an hour away from my house with Anna Bertel.
Okay. Tell us about your horse, Dom Perignon.
Dom is a 14-year-old Hanoverian. I've had him for a little over 2 years. He's been ridden up to I-1, but I've just been riding third level in the juniors with him. He's really now he's really well behaved. We've had some issues with spooking. And so I just pray when the water trucks comes in that we survive. But he was pretty good. He's been a great partner, and I'm really glad I've had him for these 2 years. So
Is he bubbly?
He's bubbly. He has a lot of energy. Sometimes he'll be really mellow, and then water trucks come by, and he has a personality change. But he's very sweet and affectionate, and he's very personable.
So how are you feeling about today's ride?
I'm excited. I get really nervous and anxious.
Do you?
So I'm just hoping I can keep my nerves together. But I think that kind of helps me push them on the edge. But I'm ready, I think.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. And talking about nerves, I mean, it has to be said, you're all young riders, and you're all going through that, evolving as riders and dealing with, the psychological, the mental preparation and all that good stuff. And this is as big as it gets for you guys, right? I mean, this is the Olympics. Mary's sitting there nodding, thinking, oh my goodness. I've never seen a smile on anybody's face like Mary. She's just so excited to be here. And you did pretty well. You got through to the freestyle on Saturday night, so you're really excited about that. How do you deal with your nerves? Because you're probably the oldest of the three of us here. I think.
I'm 21.
You're an old girl. You're an old pro, aren't you?
I have to say, and I'm not lying when I say this, I honestly don't get nervous before competition. I'm able to keep a really calm and cool way about myself in the warm-up and going into the ring. But it hasn't always been this way. I mean, at this show, no matter how huge it is, for some reason I'm feeling really good. And it's because of my horse, because he is being such a good boy this week. And I could probably say that I was nervous a few years ago. If I was in this venue, I'd be nervous simply because my horse he's not an easy horse and he's very spooky. But because he's just he's been so great this season, I'm really keeping it together. And I'm not nervous at all. I'm really excited. And
that's a great advantage, to not have to deal with that. How about you, Jill? How do you deal with your nerves?
Well, I think before I had a completely different experience with other trainers besides Scott. So the program that Scott has me in, I know the horse, I know how to fix most things. I feel confident in the training program and have a set program that I know how to warm him up, how to get him loose in his back. So I think that really brings me the confidence that I need, because I know that I can get the most out of the horse no matter how he comes out in a day. And, I've been calling NAJYRC the horse show on steroids. It's insane. So to try and keep your cool here is definitely tough, but I've kind of taken on looking at this as more so than other shows. I really can't worry about how everyone else is doing. I don't watch my competitors until I'm finished. It's not really up to me how the judges score. So all I can do is go out and do the best with my horse. And if I do that, I'm happy. And the rest is up to the judges. So there's no need I feel, to really be nervous as long as I know that I've done everything that I could.
Well, there you go, Mary Catherine. Hopefully some of that will rub off you while you're here recording the show amongst these two old pros who are so cool and laid back about it all. And I remember Heather Blitz, of course, has been on the show several times. She recently we were talking about the warm-up area and how you deal with the pressure of being in that warm-up area when you're counting down to going in, and especially in a big competition. And her big thing is that she never looks at anyone. She never looks anyone in the eye, I should say, and to stay really, really focused in that time when you're listening to your trainer, the last-minute sort of tips and tricks. How do you deal with that, Mary Catherine? Because if you get nervous, do you tell yourself when you go in that zone, I've just got to be in a place, maybe look between my horse's ears and only stay there? How do you deal with that?
I wish I could say that's all I did was just focus on my horse, but I do get really nervous. I think that's one of my biggest fears or problems in the arena. I get myself really worked up and anxious, and I like to watch all my competitors in the arena and spout out the competition, but I wish I could say I just stay focused.
Jill's shaking her head saying, don't do that.
I know. That's definitely my downfall because I'm always watching everyone and seeing what they're up to, but my trainer's really good about, Mary Catherine, keep your eyes focused. What are you doing? So she keeps me on task, and I'm not so great at navigating the arena. I get flustered when all these people are cutting me off, and especially yesterday because the water trucks are coming in, so there was no more 10-minute box. That they moved everyone in this one, then they switched them back, and I had like a few minutes left, and I was just so flustered. But I try to stay focused and try to just keep my eyes up on my horse, but still being able to pay attention to where I'm going. But that's probably a challenge for me. It's not as easy for me to stay focused. This is going to
be a big experience. And Mary, any advice to Mary Catherine?
Yeah, I honestly think that it comes with the experience of competing. The more you do, the more comfortable and more focused you can become. But yeah, it's just, I think you just have to think about the feeling and perhaps what Chris mentioned, staying focused between your horse's two ears and not allowing your eyes to wander will really give you that advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to work on that.
It's a tough one. Well, it's also, there's a lot of atmosphere in a place like this. Not only the presence of being in such a fabulous facility, as you said, Mary, of knowing that the top riders in the world are going to be competing here in a few short weeks for the World Equestrian Games, and you are walking on that hallowed turf already, so to speak. So that in itself must. What do you think, Jill? Does that kind of impress you, or do you just put that to the side?
No, I think that I've definitely made that a part of my experience here. I haven't let that fluster me or get me too nervous. I take that as a privilege, and I think it's awesome that we're given this opportunity to be able to compete here 50 some days before the best people in the world are going to compete here. And, you know, we're all the best young riders and juniors in the North American continent. So that's pretty awesome as well. And you have to appreciate that we've made it here, and everyone here is in top form. So
yeah, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, about how you get here, because there's a lot of listeners out there thinking, wow, what lucky people. They made it to the North America Junior Young Rider Championships, which is so prestigious. It has such a reputation. As you say, the biggest competition, Jill, for you guys. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back from a break. But first, we're going to hear from our friends over at Kentucky Performance Products.
Choosing a supplement can be confusing. How do you know which ones are right for your horse? Kentucky Performance Products will simplify your search for effective, research-proven supplements that meet the challenges of today's horses. And this week's highlight product is Contribute Omega-3 Fatty Acid Supplement. The properties of omega-3 fatty acids benefit every system in your horse's body. Contribute improves breeding efficiency in mares and stallions, maintains soundness and protects joints from damaging inflammation, sustains a strong immune response in horses of all ages, and decreases the levels of inflammation in your horse's body by sustaining adequate omega-3 fatty acid levels. Learn more about Contribute Omega-3 Fatty Acid Supplement and all the other products at kppusa.com. That's Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
Well, as I said, Mary, this is the biggest. This is as big as it gets. You've got here for the first time. Tell us a little bit about your journey and what you would say to people in your region who all aspire to be part of this one day when they're growing up. They look to you guys. You know, this is it.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a difficult journey. Some people are lucky enough to partner with a horse that has done this before, and they can build that partnership and make it here. There's others like myself who start with a young horse, and it's a long but very rewarding journey to make it to this competition. But I think that, you know, the most important thing is to look towards your juniors and young riders and ask them for advice and see how they've done it, and go out there and watch them ride their tests, because that's one of the biggest things, is just figuring out the test and saying, yes, I can do this, and finding the horse and the trainer that's, you know, fit for you, and just keep that goal in mind of coming to the North American Young Rider Junior Championships or riding those qualifiers. It's just keeping that goal in mind and just plugging towards it.
Well, we know you arrived here at the weekend, didn't you? You drove down from Massachusetts with your mum. Yep. And your pony. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, the whole preparation, I know, because you're on Twitter. I follow you on Twitter, so I know what you're up to almost every day.
Uh-oh. Yeah, well, it was a 15-hour journey, and my mom and I have obviously been planning it for the last couple of weeks. So she did probably the majority of driving, because I tend to get a little sleepy as I'm driving. So I did about 5 hours worth. But it was a very easy drive, actually. Having done the Florida drive before, it was a piece of cake, Massachusetts to Kentucky, and actually took one of the junior horses from our region down as well, and both horses were great. They had box stalls on our trailer, and it was smooth sailing all the way down.
Terrific. Well, we should tell everybody before we go any further that you do have a medal hanging around your neck already, okay? For your first time here at the championships, you won a team bronze medal day before yesterday. How exciting was that to be on the podium? That was an amazing experience. I had come down here saying, oh, wouldn't it be great to be on that podium and just get a team bronze, like get a team medal. And I wasn't really sure if it was something that was going to happen, but it did, and it was actually right down to the wire. It was a very, very close. I would say the Canadians beat you, didn't they? Yeah. We have to give a shout out to the Canadians. Yeah, they had a really strong, very, very strong team. But like I said, it was very close between the three of us on the podium and the rest below. But it was amazing standing on that podium and bringing my horse out there, and it was just incredible. Well, I came to watch you doing your individual on the first day, and I must say you looked very composed, very, very composed. You had your mum there, Joy, to steer you down not what we're calling the chute, are we, Jill?
Nope, the walk to victory.
The walk to victory, and it clearly was a walk to victory for you. But you said you were a little bit disappointed. He was a little mellow that day.
Yeah.
Did that change overnight? Did he kind of liven up a little bit to the occasion?
I think I rode him a little bit better the second date, just knowing that I could ride him and he wasn't going to be, he was with me. I knew from the first day that he was comfortable in the atmosphere and I could ride him a bit more confidently and push him a bit more the second day. But yeah, the first day he was a little behind my leg, so, he wasn't as exuberant as he can be. So, but like I said, I was able to improve the next day, which was nice.
Well, terrific. Well, as we mentioned, the Canadians won the team gold medal from West Vancouver, the British Columbia. There was Esme Ingham and Sylvie Francis Fraser, I should say, of Armstrong, British Columbia, and Monica Howling of Delta, British Columbia. They won with the decisive win there of taking the gold medal. And the bronze medal there went to... the silver went to Region 7. And then, of course, our friend Murray here headed up the Region
8.
8. No, it's a combined region, isn't it?
It is, actually, and that's another interesting experience. Our region, we only had 2 young riders, and so it was me and Megan Davis, and then we combined with Region 4. And that was interesting, just having a new team when you got down here, people
right.
that I had never met before, and it was really great working with them.
Well, explain to us how that happens, Mary. Is it because one region can't get up enough to make a team, so you partner with another? How does that all come about?
Well, actually, in our particular region, we did have a number of riders trying to make the team, but some couldn't achieve the average that they needed. Actually, a couple horses came up lame last minute for some of our riders. So you can have a team of just 3, but it just turned out that it was 2 in ours. It was just the 2 of us that made the cut. And Region 4 happened to be another region in our country that only had 2 riders, so they combined us.
Okay. And how about you, Jill? Tell us a little bit about your journey here, how you qualified to start off with, and how long you've partnered this horse of yours?
I am with Nelson. This is my 4th year with him.
But you spell the name differently?
Well, I Americanized his name. It's Nelson with a Z, but like I said, I Americanized it, so we call him Nelson or Nell. But I basically I agree with everything that Mary said. I think that the journey getting here is harder than being here, because once you're here, it's all fun. You finally made it. It's awesome. You're here. I think someone said it in the opening ceremonies. You're a champion in everyone's eyes already. You've made it to the North American Championships, and the qualifying is really rigorous and really tough, especially in a region like Region 1, where there are many, many people going out for these 4 slots to compete. So I think if you can keep yourself composed during qualifying and get past that, then it's all well and good from there if you can make it here.
Well, I know when Mary here qualified, I could hear her down here in Kentucky. She was so excited about it. Mary Catherine, let's bring you back in, because you've had the same journey here. Tell us about your trip.
Definitely. I agree. It's so difficult just making all the qualifying competitions and getting the scores built up. Really, after juniors last year, he had a few weeks off, and we were straight back to trying to qualify and getting ready for a whole year later. There's really no time off or breaks. I'm always working for the next competition to get ready for a year later from now. It takes so long to be prepared for such a big competition, and I'm so honored to be able to compete here and have qualified, and I know that I deserve to be here along with all these other great riders, so that feels really nice.
Yeah, it must be wonderful to know that all of you are really elite riders once you get here. And so I guess I should bow down to you guys, right? Well, we're also going to talk about some of the fun things you guys get up to, because I've been privy to some of those. This championships isn't just about riding the horses. I know you get up to a lot of other fun things, which I want to talk about in a little bit, not least of all the kind of hunt that you have, and the what do you call it, treasure hunt? What would you call it? Yeah, isn't that something that the chef set for you before you get here? Have you done that, Jill?
Now, I heard about the scavenger hunt last year.
Yeah.
And again, I was not here, but I heard it got pretty intense. And on the first day, one of my teammates was like, if there is a scavenger hunt, we are winning. So we better go all out. And I was like, all right, I guess so. I don't know what this is all about, but sure. But I haven't heard anything about it yet. So.
Oh, you haven't heard anything this year? Have you heard anything, Mary?
I haven't heard anything this year either. I remember last year some rider went into the venting pond or under a jump or something, had to get pictures, but I haven't heard anything about this year either.
No, I know that it was pretty intense, Jill. They got very, very serious about it. Maybe they're just saving it up for you guys. Who knows what's in store? But we're going to take a short break here to hear from our friend Glenn the Geek, who's got a message for you. And then when we come back, Mary's going to tell us one of the most important things here in the horse park for young riders is dressing up the golf cart. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a break, and you can tell us about that in just a second.
Glenn the Geek here, and we get many emails every week from people who really like the shows, and they ask how they can help support the Horse Radio Network. Well, you already do that by listening to the shows and by buying from all of our fantastic sponsors. And now you can add to that by supporting us directly and very easily. The next time you need something from Amazon, just go to any of our websites and click on the Amazon banner in the middle of the page. Then go on and buy your Amazon items. It won't cost you a penny more, just an extra click. But Amazon gives us a little bit back just because you clicked on the banner. Tell your family and friends to do the same thing. Every little bit helps us to keep giving you the quality equestrian programming that you have come to love. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, we're back here with my three guests this week on the Dressage Radio Show. I'm delighted to be at the North America Junior Young Rider Championships with my co-conspirator, Mary Lauritsen, Jill Kemenosh and Mary Catherine Nommensen, all previous guests here on the Dressage Radio Show, and all celebrating the fun and the partying that goes on here at the Kentucky Horse Park during the championships, all feeling like elite riders. Anyway, my friend here, Mary's already got a bronze medal hanging around her neck, and we mentioned just a moment ago that there's a lot of things that you guys, there's parties, there's the ceremonies, there's hospitality, there's all kinds of fun things. There was a scavenger hunt in the past, as you mentioned. We're waiting to see if that plays out this year, and I want to hear about it next time you're on the show, Mary, if it does, okay? Yeah. But the other thing I know is fun, and you guys are going to have to get into, is dressing up the golf carts. Tell us about that, Jill. Have you started doing that yet?
Well, I have to say that Region 1 is a little bit slacking on the golf cart dressing up. We all were coordinating the first day that all of us finally arrived to go to Walmart, pick a theme, get a bunch of decorations and do it. But I think everyone had just arrived. We had to compete the next day, and it was just kind of fell through the cracks. So right now, and not only is decorating it fun, but it also helps to identify your golf cart because you have so many running around here. The first day we were like, oh, where is our golf cart? Yeah. So actually we had a musical freestyle challenge for Region 1 that helped us raise a bunch of the money that helped support us here, and it's called the YES Fund, the Young Equestrian Scholarship Fund, which is partnered with Hassler Dressage. So among covering some of the costs that we had to cover to go here, as far as the $5,000 to USDF to cover entry, chef fees, etc., they also covered our jog outfits and our golf carts. So we don't have decorations yet. I'm not sure if we're working on that because I know it is a big thing and a lot of the kids like to get involved. But right now, the only thing we have identifying the golf cart is this golf cart is sponsored by Yes Fund. Okay. So we can at least find them now, but no decorations or themes yet for us.
Okay. How about you, Mary Catherine? Have you got into it yet?
No, I wish we had. Our golf cart has a few little red ties on it so we can identify it again in all the billions of golf carts here, but we haven't really decorated it. Last year we had lots of streamers and balloons, but I guess we didn't get quite around to that this year.
Didn't get into it. You know, it can be very colourful, can't it? And as you say, not only can you find your own golf cart, but that's the fun thing of it, Mary, here, isn't it? I mean, it's such a sort of party atmosphere when you come to the Young Rider Championships. Have you really gotten into the spirit of that? You know, so many young people all buzzing around the horse park, a lot of them very dangerously on these golf carts, I must say.
True. Outside of the competition arena, it's a blast, and people are pretty lighthearted and relaxed around the stabling. A lot of people have gone all out decorating their stalls and their stall fronts, and but the golf carts are definitely slacking this year. We went out, and I wanted to do the preppy pony theme, since we're like New England region, but then we saw that the Hawaiian decorations were on sale, so we went all out and bought all these Hawaiian like tiki torches and lanterns and all these crazy streamers, and we still haven't decorated ours, but I think that the stress of competition's kind of
getting to you.
Yeah, putting the decorating is not really a priority.
Well, we're going to have to get you into it somehow. I have a Hawaiian shirt, by the way, if you want to borrow a Hawaiian shirt. I used to have one of those grass skirts years ago.
What? We actually bought 7 or 6 pink grass skirts, and our team wants to take a picture wearing all of them. So we're a pretty lighthearted team, I'd have to say.
And how was the opening ceremony experience for you, Mary Catherine?
That was really cool because we got to see all the other disciplines there, like the eventing and endurance riding. And it was really cool to be able to stand on that stage and see the big crowd and everything. So that was pretty fun.
Because that's a big stadium there, isn't it? And it's a big atmosphere when you're riding down the victory path. Is it? What do you call it, Jill?
The walk to victory.
The walk to victory. Yep. How about you? When you came into the opening ceremony, was that just like like a mini Olympics for you?
Yeah, it definitely is a mini Olympics. It was cool to be there and kind of be walking through that arena and take it all in, because when you go down the walk to victory and you're riding around the arena and you're riding in your test, for me, I'm so concentrated that I don't really get a chance to take that all in. So walking through and having a minute to kind of look up in those stands and realize where you were and that the World Equestrian Games were going to be here soon and this amazing, beautiful stadium, it was nice to just take that minute because you don't get it when you're riding.
Did you have to pinch yourself?
No, but we did have flags and my teammate kept poking me by accident, so I was definitely awake for that.
Well, it's good practice for things to come, hopefully. I mean, really is a fantastic start, the opening ceremony, all the parties and all the stuff. And then the barn, too. Do you get to dress up your stalls? And Mary Catherine, did you really get into that?
Yeah, well, we all have matching stall drapes. Our colors for Region 9 are red, black, and white. So everyone has a red, black, and white stall plaque and a picture with their name on it. And we have nice banners across the top and color coordinated to look professional. And so that was fun, getting to all look nice and in a uniform, so we all really feel like a team, that we look the same and put together from different areas.
Yeah, that really is nice. So you're all so distinguishable, not that you're all sitting on your same golf cart, but you're all in that lovely uniform. Each is very unique as well. And I want to go back to Jill's point about the fundraiser that you had for Yes. And I know a lot of regions have to do that because it's not easy. I mean, we should explain, Jill, we've got several disciplines here. We've got the 3 Olympic disciplines of dressage, jumping, and eventing. We also have a vaulting demonstration. We have reining in the new indoor arena. And we also have endurance, which is taking place over at Shakertown in Harrodsburg. It's a 75-mile race ride over there because there isn't room to have it here. That's a really fabulous venue over there for them to go over there. So there's lots of there's more than just the 1 or 2 disciplines. There's so many disciplines. There's so many components. It means so many rides. I think, Mary, you said something like 2,000, but there's the horse show going on as well, right? But that means a lot of riders trying to get here on a shoestring and having to raise money to make it to the championships, and some of them don't. So talk a little bit about the fundraising and how important that is.
I know for the dressage portion, at least, USDF requires that each region raise a minimum of $5,000, which will be put into an account to supply next year's region. So they will have definite funds to help them get here. And like I said before, that covers chef's fees, entry fees, stabling, things like that. Basically, the bare minimum is what that covers, which is awesome that they're taking that on to support us, because this is such an expensive endeavor, not only qualifying, but then to finally get here. So every year you have to raise a minimum of $5,000, whether that be through a fundraiser like we had, selling raffle tickets, some sort of thing like that. You have to raise that minimum $5,000, and anything outside of that. I know you said Mary got sponsors as well. She has sponsors on her shirt. I have sponsors on mine. You can also ask for things like that as well, for companies to supply you with team shirts throughout the competition so you can all match and things like that. But definitely a lot of fundraising is needed to support these teams.
To get you here, I know it, and you all make lifelong friends, being part of a team and a community here for this very special week. Well, I want to wrap up now, Mary, just talk a little bit about what's to come. As I said, it's Friday as we're recording. We've got almost 3 more days of competition here for the dressage riders. That means the final freestyle, the final 15 tomorrow night. I'm just building this up for you. Not that you get nervous. I know you don't get nervous. But under lights in the main stadium, top 15 doing the freestyle. And you've got the biggest smile on your face. You are so ready, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm so excited to go down that center line and to hear my own music that I composed myself, playing over the loudspeakers, and to be under the lights. Hopefully, if I'm riding a little bit later, it'll be more intense and exciting. I think the freestyles are going to be great. I'm excited to ride my own. I'm excited to watch the rest. And, of course, the juniors will be riding earlier in the day. So I'm planning on watching them all. I love freestyles. And I'm just going to be thinking about my horse and my riding and how well I'm staying with my music. But I think that a big feeling is going to be thinking about those WEG riders, and that they're going to be doing the same thing. And they're trying to make this venue, the freestyle, very similar to how they're playing out the WEG.
Right.
So I think that will be really inspiring going around the arena.
Well, are you going to give us a clue as to what the music is?
It's interesting. I put it together on my computer, and I have a little bit of the Mulan soundtrack on there. It's kind of an upbeat techno. I have like a European pop song, Stereo Love, if anybody's familiar with that. I have some of that in there. It's all instrumental, but it's a pretty cool soundtrack, I think. I like it.
And what does Rossignol think of it so far?
He likes
Rossi
it. He likes grooving to it. I can tell. Yeah. Maybe we'll get him a little bit spunkier.
Well, we're looking forward to coming over and cheering you on. And I know Glenn said he's going to be here. Glenn the Geek, as our producer here, of course, on the Horse Radio Network. He's going to join us over there. And he doesn't know that much about dressage, so we'll have to kind of, string him along on the way and, just educate him. It's music involved, Glenn, so you'll be fine. Jill, tell us what's left for you this week.
I also am advanced into the freestyle, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's actually the same choreography that I've used before. There's 1 or 2 things that are different, and I got some new music. So this is the first time that I will be showing with my new music, which is slightly intimidating, but I'm also really excited because I had my old music kind of revamped for young riders, but I've had that since juniors. And so
what is it?
It's called the rock and roll theme. Basically, the canter music is at the hop. The walk music is Wishin' and Hopin', which is really
nice.
cute. And,
we like that.
The trot is Bad Bad Leroy Brown. So
okay.
I think it's, some recognizable songs that everyone can have some fun with, and I really enjoyed picking some new stuff out for this.
Terrific.
So I'm excited.
Terrific. And you're currently lying in...
I was 4th during the team competition, and individually yesterday I placed 5th. It was a pretty tough competition. I kind of started off, I went 5th, and then the last 4 riders behind me all ended up placing above me. So I was kind of the start of that last grouping that ended up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Terrific.
So it was really tough competition.
Terrific. Well, Mary Catherine, I know you're going to ride in the individual a little while here today, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the heat. But you said you're psyched up.
I am very excited. I'm obviously a little nervous, but I'm really excited to ride this afternoon and hopefully qualify for the freestyle the next day and be able to ride to my own music and have my own arena. So I'm excited.
Well, we want to wish every one of you the very, very best of luck. We'll be there to cheer you on here. I even got Glenn, I don't know how I did it, but he's going to come along and he'll be tapping his feet in the stands, I know. And I want to thank Glenn for producing the show here this morning at the Kentucky Horse Park for the Adequan FEI North America Junior Young Rider Championships that are taking place here. We will get the show out to you as quickly as possible. We are still, of course, very much an event in progress. As you heard, our riders are going to leave here now and get ready for their next ride tomorrow. We want to wish them all the very, very best of luck. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, Mary. And we'll be back, of course, next week. Next week, we're going to start a new series here on the Dressage Radio Show, Inspirational People. And my first guest will be Lyndon Gray, who I know many of you consider to be inspirational and an exceptional person altogether. So we're looking forward to sharing that with you here on the Dressage Radio Show. Another week of fun. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the dressage competition here in the horse park. I want to thank you all for listening around the world. And I hope you've enjoyed our youth series here with Mary Lawrence. And Mary, thanks for bringing such great guests on the show for this series.
Well, thank you, Chris, for having me because it's been so much fun. I've met so many new people, and it's just been a lot of fun to do.
Terrific. All right. Well, don't forget you can follow us on Facebook. You can also contact me with any comments, questions, or suggestions. Chris@horseradionetwork.com. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, for making the show possible, and our backstage crew for turning the shows around. We apologize if we're a little tad late this week, but we thought it was well worthwhile to get you a little piece of the action here from the Kentucky Horse Park. So until next week, well, I will be back, same place, same time. Until then, don't forget to practice safe riding by always wearing your helmet, and don't forget to put your chin strap on. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for listening, everybody.